What if the biggest thing holding you back isn't bad luck, money, or other people, but a habit you repeat every day without realizing it? Identify and break the hidden habits that are quietly destroying your life. Most people spend years trying to change their lives. But what if the real problem has been hiding in plain sight all along? The invisible daily habits that feel harmless but slowly steal your confidence, peace, and potential. The most dangerous habits aren't obvious. They're the small choices you repeat every day, the procrastination you justify, the negative thoughts you keep feeding, the approval you keep chasing. They don't ruin your life overnight. That's what makes them so dangerous. Day by day, they quietly drain your energy, delay your growth, and keep you stuck in the same place while years slip away. The good news? What habits can destroy, new habits can rebuild. The moment you become aware of what's holding you back, you take back control of your future. Because your life doesn't change in one big moment. It changes through the small decisions you make every single day. And today, we're exposing 10 habits that may be stealing your future before they steal another year of your life. Part 1. Overthinking. What if the reason you can't find peace isn't because life is complicated? What if it's because you're thinking about it too much? Every day, millions of people are trapped in a prison they built inside their own minds. And most don't even realize it. Find peace of mind and move forward in life. Overthinking, the endless need to analyze, predict, and control every possible outcome. Have you ever replayed the same conversation over and over, wondering what they meant, what you should have said, or what might happen next? Overthinking feels like you're solving a problem, but most of the time you're creating new ones. You imagine worst-case scenarios. You fight battles that never happen. And while you're busy analyzing life keeps moving without you. The more you try to control every outcome, the more trapped you become. The truth is, you cannot think your way into peace. Peace begins when you stop demanding certainty. You don't need all the answers to take the next step. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is move forward anyway. Part 2. Procrastination. What if the life you want isn't far away? What if it's waiting on the other side of one decision you've been postponing? Most people don't lose their dreams overnight. They lose them one delay at a time. Take action and start building the life you want. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'll do it when I'm ready, I'll wait until the timing is better? The belief that you need motivation, confidence, or the perfect moment before you begin. But tomorrow keeps moving. And while you're waiting, fear is quietly making decisions for you. Fear of failure, fear of struggle, fear of not being good enough. So days become months, months become years, and the dream stays exactly where it started. Here's the truth. You don't need motivation to begin. You need to begin to create motivation. Confidence comes from action. The life you want is built one uncomfortable step at a time. Take the first step today. Part 3. People pleasing. What if the reason you're unhappy is because you've spent your entire life trying to make everyone else happy? And what if the person you've been disappointing the most is yourself? Many people spend years chasing approval. They say yes when they want to say no. They stay quiet when they need to speak. They ignore their own needs to keep everyone else comfortable. At first, it feels like kindness, but over time, it becomes self-abandonment. Because no matter how much you give, someone will always want more. And the harder you try to please everyone, the more you lose yourself. The truth is, you don't need everyone's approval to live a meaningful life. Your worth is not measured by how useful you are to other people. Sometimes the most powerful act of self-respect is saying one simple word, no. And the moment you do, you finally give yourself permission to be free. Part 4. Negative self-talk. What if the person doing the most damage to your confidence isn't your boss, your critics, or your circumstances? What if it's the voice you hear every day inside your own head? Build confidence and develop a healthier relationship with yourself. Negative self-talk, the constant inner critic that turns mistakes into identities and doubts into beliefs. Listen closely to the way you talk to yourself. Would you speak to a friend that way? I'm not good enough. I always fail. I'll never succeed. At first, they seem like harmless thoughts, but your mind is always listening. And every time you repeat them, they grow stronger. Over time, those thoughts become beliefs. And those beliefs begin to shape your reality. Before life even challenges you, you've already convinced yourself you can't win. You become the voice you listen to most. So choose your words carefully, be honest about your flaws, but don't forget your strengths. Because confidence doesn't grow from constant criticism. It grows when you learn to speak to yourself with the same kindness you'd offer someone you love. Part 5. Holding grudges. What if the person you're trying to punish isn't the one suffering the most? What if every day you hold on to resentment, you're the one paying the price? Find peace and emotional freedom after being hurt. The belief that holding on to anger protects you or punishes the person who caused the pain. When someone hurts us, anger feels powerful. It feels like justice. It feels like control. So we hold on to the resentment. We replay what happened. We carry the bitterness. We tell ourselves we're protecting our hearts, but while we're carrying the weight, the other person keeps living their life. And slowly, the anger that was meant for them starts hurting us instead. The truth is, forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. It's choosing not to let it control your future anymore. A grudge is like carrying a heavy backpack on a long journey. The longer you hold it, the heavier life becomes. Freedom begins the moment you decide to put it down. Part 6. Avoiding responsibility. What if the reason your life hasn't changed has nothing to do with bad luck, difficult people, or unfair circumstances? Take control of your life and create meaningful change. The habit of blaming others, circumstances, or bad luck instead of taking ownership. What if the thing keeping you stuck is the one thing you don't want to face? When things go wrong, blaming someone else feels easier. Blaming your past feels easier. Blaming your situation feels easier. Because if it's someone else's fault, you don't have to change. But there's a hidden cost. Every excuse gives away your power. Every blame keeps your future in someone else's hands. And while you're waiting for things to change, nothing changes. Responsibility is uncomfortable because it forces you to face reality, but it's also where real growth begins. Here's the truth. You may not be responsible for everything that happened to you, but you are responsible for what happens next. The moment you take ownership of your life, you take back your power, because growth begins when excuses end, and progress begins when ownership starts. Part 7. Living for approval. What if the reason you're never fully at peace is because you've handed other people control over your happiness? And what if the approval you're chasing can never truly satisfy you? Many people spend their lives waiting for permission to feel worthy. The constant need for validation and approval. They make decisions based on what others might think. They change who they are just to be accepted, and for a moment, the approval feels good. But there's a problem. Approval is temporary. Today, people praise you. Tomorrow, they criticize you. If your happiness depends on their opinions, your peace will rise and fall with every compliment and every judgment. That's a life you'll never control. The truth is, confidence grows when you stop asking others who you should be and start deciding for yourself. Live by your values, not by the applause of strangers. Because the strongest kind of self-worth comes from knowing who you are, even when nobody is clapping. Build genuine confidence and inner peace. Part 8. Comparing yourself to others. What if the reason you never feel good enough is because you're measuring your life against people you don't truly know? And what if the comparison you're making isn't even fair to begin with? The goal is to find confidence, joy, and fulfillment in your own journey. But the obstacle is the habit of comparing your life, success, and progress to other people's highlight reels. Someone has more money, someone looks happier, someone reached success faster, and suddenly everything you've accomplished feels small. But here's the trap. You're comparing your everyday reality to someone else's best moments. You see the achievement, but not the struggle behind it. You see the result, but not the failures, sacrifices, and setbacks that came before it. The more you compare, the more you overlook your own growth, and the less you appreciate how far you've already come. The truth is, your journey was never meant to look like theirs. The goal isn't to become someone else. The goal is to become the best version of yourself. So stop looking sideways. Focus on your path, your progress, your story. Because the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Part 9. Fear of failure. What if the biggest failure in your life isn't failing? What if it's never trying because you're too afraid to fail? And what opportunities have you already lost because of that fear? Failure scares everyone. That's normal. But fear becomes dangerous when it convinces you to stay where you are. Many people never start, not because they lack talent, not because they lack potential, but because they're waiting for guarantees. They want certainty, proof they'll succeed. But life doesn't offer guarantees. And while they're waiting for perfect conditions, their dreams stay exactly where they are. The truth is, every successful person has failed, usually more times than you realize. Here's what fear doesn't want you to know. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every mistake teaches you something. Every setback makes you stronger. Every lesson prepares you for what's next. Because the greatest failure isn't falling down. It's spending your whole life standing still, afraid to take the first step. Part 10. Ignoring your health. What if the thing you're sacrificing to build a better life is the very thing that makes a better life possible? And what if one day you achieve everything you wanted, only to realize you no longer have the health to enjoy it? Build a successful life without sacrificing your physical and mental well-being. Many people spend years chasing more. The belief that health can wait, while you chase money, success, achievement, and status. More money, more success, more recognition. And along the way, they neglect the one thing making it all possible: their health. They ignore the exhaustion, the stress, the warning signs, because they tell themselves they'll take care of it later. But later has a way of arriving sooner than expected. And eventually, they discover a painful truth. Success means very little when your body and mind are falling apart. The truth is, health isn't just about living longer. It's about living better, having energy to enjoy your life, having strength to pursue your dreams, having peace of mind when the day is over. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And you can't build a meaningful life while neglecting the foundation that supports it. What if the life you want isn't being destroyed by one big mistake, but by one small habit you repeat every single day? And what if changing your future starts with changing just one thing? Create a better future through positive daily habits, the small, destructive habits that quietly shape your life without you noticing. Most people expect life-changing moments to arrive as dramatic events, but that's not how life usually works. A habit, a thought, a delay, a comparison, a fear, repeated day after day, that's how lives are built. And that's how they're broken. The challenge is that these habits are often invisible. They're easy to ignore until years have passed. But here's the good news. The same habits that can slowly destroy your life can also transform it. You don't need to fix everything today. Just choose one habit, and start there. Because your future isn't created by what you do once. It's created by what you do consistently. And the life you've been hoping for may begin with a single decision you make today.